What is going on, everybody? Welcome to a special early edition of Chips and Dish here on the AAT Sports Network. I am your host, Chip at Chip for the Birds. We're going to have all kinds of special guests joining us in just a couple of minutes. But we had to get going because the Eagles are playing tonight against the Dallas Cowboys at like 8:20. So we got to get it popping. Maddie, what is going on? Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate you. Happy game day indeed. We have a lot to get into because not only are the Eagles playing tonight, but the Phillies are entering their last week of the season, and they are within striking distance if they can get their stuff together. The Sixers open camp today, and the Flyers play hockey tomorrow. So we have a lot to get into, not to mention the weekly pickoff. So we really got to get it popping. Yo, Peanut, that's what I'm saying. We have got to get it going. So before we do anything, we're going to pay the bills. Get this out of the way so that we can talk some serious sports. So do not forget all about the Birds and Chips and Dish and the AAT Sports Network. We are sponsored by Statement Games, a fun, free twist on fantasy sports. There is a link in the bio. We are sponsored by oddsjam.com. You can use their arbitrage calculator to not lose money. There is a link in the bio. You can, of course, support the AAT Sports Network.com/shop. All kinds of amazing designs. You got to check it out. I mean, just to throw a couple up there so you see what's going on. You can see the All Authentic Talk NWO style shirt. You can see the Kenny G with the saxophone. You can see the Hearts on Fire Rocky shirt. You can see the Costume Mentality, a Tila Kegi original and brought to life by John Uleka. So we got all kinds of great stuff in the shop, and you can always support. We are also sponsored by Lots of Rain Luxury Watches. Use your code AATBirds at checkout for 10% off. And of course, our very favorite, manscaped.com. Your balls will thank you. Use the code AATBirds for 20% off and free shipping at checkout. Okay, bills have been paid. We are going to be joined in just a minute. Massapequa, it works. I'm not quite sure. I think you may have been trying to type in Manscaped, but I might start saying Massapequa just because that's fun. But we have got to get into this a little bit now because there is a lot going on in the world of Philadelphia sports. We're going to try and segment this perfectly. We're going to try and hit 15 minutes of each of the major things going on because that's what we need to do. So like I said, in just a couple of minutes, Don Conaway from Drunk on Broad is going to join. We're going to do a co-host thing. And then later on in the show, my wife's going to join in for the weekly pickoff, and we're going to reveal the results from this week, along with put together our picks for last week. So let's get right into it. The Phillies have 1 week left in the season. They have a series against the Atlanta Braves, and they have a series against the Marlins. Their arch nemesis. And what it comes down to is this. The Phillies have been just average enough. They've been just okay enough to still be in it when all is said and done. I mean, going into this last week, we are looking at a team that is 2.5 games out of the division lead. And who knows where they are in the wild card. But 2.5 games against the team who is right ahead of them. They have a 3-game series tomorrow, Wednesday, and Thursday. And my friends, it's playoff baseball at this point. There is a whole slew of things that can happen. In fact, I saw somebody find this beautiful, beautiful diagram, and I want to put this up here for all to see so that you can kind of see where the Phillies are and what needs to happen. So let me share this out real quick. So in order for the Phillies to have any kind of success, this is what needs to happen. Actually, I'm going to switch it to this one so you can actually see it a little bit. All right. With 1 week left to go, here's what needs to happen for the Phillies to somehow squeak into the playoffs. Now, it gives you both scenarios. It says if Philly sweeps Atlanta, if they go 2-1 versus Atlanta, if they go 1-2 versus Atlanta. Let's call it like it is. If the Phillies lose all of the games against Atlanta, it is over. If they lose all 3, we're not even having this conversation anymore because they would need to beat Miami all 3 games and to lose to Atlanta all 3 games. That won't happen, and all that would result in is a tiebreaker game. That is not going to happen. One way or another, the Phillies are either going to lose the series against the Braves and their series really will be over, or they might actually win, and then we have some scenarios. So, again, and I'll even make this full screen so that people can see it a little better. If they go 2-1 versus Atlanta, again, tomorrow, Wednesday, Thursday, they are in decent shape. They're in decent shape. They would have to go basically 3-0 against Miami in the final series to have a chance to really win. If they go 2-1, I mean, if they go 0-3 again, they really, let's call it like it is, in the next 6 games, at the absolute most, they can lose 1. They can lose maybe 1 game the rest of the way. And that includes the ever favorite of everybody bullpen game that will, I'm sure, be thrown in, which I can't stand. We know this. I think the bullpen game is a gigantic waste of time. We know that it includes an Aaron Nola start in September, which can be good. It could be bad. We know it includes a Zach Wheeler start, which we are banking on being excellent because without it, pretty much none of this works. It's going to result in another terrific Ranger Suarez start. He was incredible in his last game. He pitched a full 9. Oh, but he's got arm issues. Oh, he's tired. No. At this point, Ranger Suarez did what he needed to do. So we have pitchers, but I don't know if that's enough because the hitting, look, you have seen Bryce Harper hit the ball excellent over the last couple of games. He's got to continue. And it's actually great that we're done this because you can see Bryce Harper's right below me. Go Bryce. He is the MVP. If the Phillies make the playoffs, Bryce Harper is the MVP of the league. No questions at all in my mind. Okay. But moving forward, we need more. We need all the players. We need Didi to get his glove working. We need Gene Segura to continue. We need the Phillies to all come together as a team. Because, again, if they lose the series in Atlanta, this thing is pretty much over. And Atlanta, they're coming for blood. They're absolutely coming for blood. So, look, Bryce Harper needs to continue his absolute incredible pace. JT Realmuto needs to kind of pick it up a little bit. Brad Miller's got to pick it up. Kutch has got to pick it up. Odubel's got to run out ground balls and fly balls because, my God, I cannot watch this guy hit the ball exactly 2 feet short of the wall and end up on first base. You're the leadoff guy. You're supposed to be one of the fastest guys on the team. Odubel Herrera, considering the fact that he is so closely removed from almost being out of baseball entirely, he's got to act like he wants it just a little bit more. He's not. He's not. So he really needs to do that. We also have Kyle Gibson, who has been pitching very well, kind of above his stature. We have 4 really good starters, and then we have a bullpen game. So out of those 6 games we have left, our lineup is kind of perfectly where we want it. Our pitching rotation, I should say. Everybody else really needs to do their job. I think that it is winnable. I do think that they can win the division. Now, with that being said, whoever they go up against in the playoffs, I don't know what will happen at that point, but it's not to say that it can't happen. I think the Phillies really need to turn it on in this last week of the season. Now, with that being said, I'm going to shift gears a little bit here. Twin, what is up, buddy? What's hanging? You ready for some football tonight? I am. And I will let everybody know, I did pick the Cowboys to win the game tonight. I did. Because I'm a realist. No. However, I would love to be wrong. I am hoping to be wrong. That would make me very happy. I would go to bed happy tonight being wrong. I agree, Manny. Winning is a must. Like I said, the Phillies can do it. Everything is perfectly lined up. The fact that they are still even in this, they're 6 games above 500 because they went up against bad teams. And all of a sudden, they remembered how to play. They beat up on the Pirates, a bad baseball team. That's what they had to do. If they had lost that series, we wouldn't even be sitting here having this conversation. Now, here we are, just a week left in the season, and all of Philadelphia is going, screw it. Let's beat the Braves. Let's absolutely do it. Now, it's going to be tough because they finish all 6 of these games on the road. 3 against the Braves on the road tomorrow, Wednesday, and Thursday. And then the next 3 days, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday against the Marlins. This is going to be a very hectic week if you are a Phillies fan. Whoa, Ollie's tuning in. I did win a fantasy matchup this week. You're damn right, Ollie. Not only did I win a fantasy matchup, I absolutely dominated in a fantasy matchup. Going into the game tonight, I had a 99% chance of winning. This pleases me. And it especially pleases me because in one of my other leagues, I do have Christian McCaffrey, CMC, however you say his last name. I go back to Friday Night Lights a lot, and he screwed me, but I somehow still managed to win because of my other players. Look, I'm not a fantasy guy. I took years and years off. But yeah, I'm looking to, after going 0-3 last week, I'm probably going to go 3-0 this week. So like I said, 1 week left to go in the Philly season. I think that they can do it. I expect them to go 2-1 against the Braves, which again, then looking at how this looks, if they go 2-1 against the Braves, you can see that they had better go at least 2-1 against the Marlins. I think if they lose 2 games, though, out of these next 6, they really are done. Now, with that being said, we have a ton of other things we have to talk about tonight, including the fact that Ben Simmons is an absolute butthead. Ben Simmons sucks. Hold on, let's make this official here. We're going backwards hat on this. I've been a fan of Philadelphia sports for a very long time. I have dealt with the Scott Rowlands wanting to be traded and the Carson Wentz's wanting to be traded. This is unlike anything I've ever seen. The closest thing that you can compare this to is Terrell Owens, but there was a historic level feud between Donovan McNabb and Terrell Owens. Not to mention, T.O. was the greatest wide receiver at the time. He is a Hall of Fame wide receiver, a historic wide receiver who could still kick people's asses today. Have you seen the guy? T.O. is ripped. Ben Simmons is none of those things. Ben Simmons wishes he was some of those things. But in reality, Ben Simmons is at best, at absolute best, a mediocre NBA player. Ben Simmons, work on your free throws. Now, Ben Simmons, develop a three-point shot. Nah. Ben Simmons, work on a jump shot. Doesn't even have to be a three-point shot. A jump shot. No. Ben Simmons has been an incredible failure to this organization. So there was conversation all offseason about, will he work on things? Will he improve? Will he get better? And of course, just like Groundhog Day, Ben Simmons sends you his videos. Ben Simmons, oh, he's shooting in the gym. Ben Simmons, look how sweaty he is. He's working hard. But then there is the Ben Simmons that is the showman. Ben Simmons that is LA. Look at my cars. Look at the bottle of wine that LeBron. Ben Simmons sucks. Okay, well, you're starting to hear now, like, well, maybe he won't report to camp. Ben Simmons isn't going to report to camp. Doc Rivers still wants him on the team. There's still a chance. Some of the guys are going to fly out and talk to Ben about him coming back. And he says, I'm good. I never want to play in Philadelphia again. I never want to play in front of those fans again. When all the fans did was demand that you give it your all. See, why do we love a guy like Joel Embiid? Because he gives it his all. Why do we love a guy like Bryce Harper? Because he gives it his all. Why do we like a guy like Jalen Hurts? Because he is a leader. Philadelphia fans are constantly being given guys that are second rate mentally. Ben Simmons is second rate mentally. Great. You can shoot a jump shot in a gym, but you refuse to do it in a game. Hell, you refuse to take a 10-footer. You refuse to take a 5-footer. You refuse to shoot the ball at all. And people are not going to forgive you passing up that layup. Just like Joel Embiid's not going to forgive you for passing up that layup. Just like Doc Rivers. So you know what? Go somewhere else. Be an even worse shooting Draymond Green somewhere else. Hell, go to Golden State and take away all the shooters. He became an absolute liability, not to mention a ghost. He disappeared during the playoffs. And this hasn't happened for one season. This hasn't happened for 2 seasons. This has happened multiple seasons. He disappears when the lights shine the brightest. And all Philadelphia fans said is, please work harder. Please get better. We were begging you, absolutely begging you to just work on a jump shot. Then we were absolutely begging you to, I don't know, crazy thought here, work on a free throw. Nah, he doesn't want to do that. And instead, well, I don't ever want to play for those fans again. You know what? Screw you, Ben Simmons. Not want to play for these fans again. The fans are the absolute reason that you have gotten this far. It is not okay that you have chicken shitted out. And I know it's way before our 9 o'clock usual time. I get it. I understand that I'm cussing up a storm. But you have chicken shit out of being a real NBA player and working hard. See, hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. We say that to our children. They know that. Sure, he's a naturally athletic, naturally talented guy. We understand that. But that has now run its course. Now it's what are you going to do to become the best version of yourself? And as Ali said, and he's English, so he knows stuff. He's British. Exactly right. What's the worst is that he never comes out and actually acts accountable for anything, turns it around on Philly. But are you right? Exactly. The fact that I don't want to play for the fans again. No, sir. No, sir. You don't get to say that the fans quit on you. The fans didn't quit on you. The fans gave you so many chances, and instead, you want to go. I'm not. Don't even fly out here. Don't even fly out here. You have 4 members of the team come out. Don't even come out here. I'm done. I'm never playing a game again. Again, screw you. I'm over it. I'm over the Ben Simmons thing. We said weeks and months ago that there is almost no chance that he can successfully come back to this organization. And now at this point, if he's holding out of camp already. There is no way that he can come back to this organization. And again, I don't understand why he thinks this is the way, because no one has ever told him no before. When you surround yourself with yes men and all you hear is, oh man, look at that jump shot. That was great. And then he's throwing it off the backboard and he's alley-ooping it to himself. That's awesome. That's great. You're not going to do any of those things in a game. So I don't want to see that here. I don't want to see that here. One of my former students, Sterling here. What's going on, Sterling? I feel like Doc has sung his praises recently in the media scrums and tours to boost Ben's trade value. However, the attitude is diminishing his value. Absolutely. So we can all see what's happening. Sterling is exactly right. At this point, the relationship is broken. The relationship is totally shattered. And everyone knows it. So in order to get any kind of trade value for a former overall great first-round pick with the unbelievable hype and comparisons to LeBron James and comparisons to this guy and that guy and Magic Johnson, which, by the way, still a great porn name. To get all those comparisons and to get nothing for him can't happen. So you know what? Let him sit this year. He's got all of his LA dreams. And you know what? As Ryan says, maybe you don't send him to LA. Maybe you send him to Sacramento. Send him to the Kings or another team that's going to draft every year where they need him to be a leader and he won't do it. Make him go through another process again because no one is sitting there telling him no. No one is holding him accountable, and it's not okay. Ben Simmons, as I put here, is a butthead. I am not a Ben Simmons fan anymore. And yes, people are already burning the jerseys. That's excessive. Donate them to charity. You know what I mean? Like that is excessive. Let's not do that. But you won't catch me wearing a Ben Simmons jersey. And again, this is the narrative that we've had over and over again at this point. I know, Max. Thank you. That is sweet of me. This is the narrative we have had over and over again of I cannot anymore deal with the weak Philadelphia-minded athlete. I can't do it. It's not acceptable. And that's all we've had to deal with. Look at your Nolan Patricks. Look at your Carson Wentz's. Look at your Ben Simmons's. And the next one that's coming up is Aaron Nola. Because him sitting here not being told that he's an ace, being questioned on his September struggles, he is the next one. If he doesn't get his shit together, he will be the next one. As Max is saying, we got a lot of Camp America people up in here. What's up? The man completely disregarded his team. That's the part that pisses me off. That is the part that really infuriates me. He completely disregarded his teammates like they played any part. And the fact that they were willing to come out, and he went, nope, I'm better than you. No, you're not. No, you're not. It's disgusting. What team would want that? Nobody's going to want that. And he will go down as one of the most hated Philly athletes to leave this town. He's going to be right up there with your Scott Rowlands. He'll far surpass Scott Rowland because there's a difference of a 5-person team and a 9-person team on the field. So he will far surpass Scott Rowland as a hated player. He'll far surpass Carson Wentz after this season because once we're done with, how many snaps and once we're done with that, we're not going to pay any attention to Carson Wentz unless he makes the playoffs. But again, he'll trip over his own damn ankles on the way over there. I don't know what team would want him. I'm not sure. One of the other things that really bugged me about the Sixers today is they still referred to last season as a success. I'm going to disagree. Yes, they got the number 1 seed, and that was swell. Yes, they were legitimate contenders for an MVP award and a Defensive Player of the Year award. I mean, great. They had a good foundation set, but they went exactly nowhere. And a good chunk of that's on Ben Simmons. A good chunk of that is on Doc Rivers. I would not call last season a success. I would call it the status quo. You maintain the status quo. High School Musical style. They stuck to the status quo. I did see the Embiid presser. Yeah, and as Ali's saying, we weren't ready against Atlanta. How? How can you possibly not have been ready? It's the playoffs. It is the playoffs. It was our best chance to win all. And now you see the pieces starting to break away. At this point, you cannot say that this Sixers team has gotten better this offseason. Right? That's a really big thing. When I judge an offseason as a success or a failure, I go, did they get better or worse? I do not think that the change from Dwight Howard to Andre Drummond was that big of an upgrade. Again, a very lateral move. I think losing Ben Simmons, which is going to happen, hurts this team for sure. There is no perimeter shooter still. As Javier just chimed in, Doc Rivers is a big name. That's great, but nothing more. And a lot of the blame is on him. You're talking about a championship winning coach. And again, here's another parallel to Joe Girardi. A championship winning coach who all they did when they were that championship winning coach was guide superstars and future Hall of Famers to a championship. That's not what this Sixers team was. That's not what this Phillies team is. You need a coach. You need a manager. And Girardi is a big name who is not capable of doing that. Doc Rivers, as of right now, is not the guy that has been able to do that. Going back to Max's earlier comment, I like this one, right? Trying to figure out if there was a time where there was an athlete being this hated. Maybe Bynum. I can't even say Andrew Bynum is there because he never really played for us. Jason Worth, I think we were all hurt that he left, but he won a World Series with us. So we'll always have that. I think that so much was placed on Ben Simmons and the idea of him and Joel Embiid and then Tobias Harris added into the mix. That was our big three. But Jimmy Butler has made it very clear when he left, like, nah, this isn't it. This isn't the guy. So I think there's more hatred because of the fact that we chose Ben Simmons over Jimmy Butler, when in reality, Jimmy Butler was that outside shooter. Jimmy Butler was that guy who worked hard and then actually put it into the game. Jimmy Butler was that guy who could carry a team by himself. If Jimmy Butler had stayed and Ben Simmons had gone, we would have won an NBA championship last year. I will go on record as saying it. Now, there's no way to prove me wrong, but you sneeze to the truth. And as my wife just did from the other room as she gets ready to join in just a couple of minutes, had they chosen Jimmy Butler over Ben Simmons, they would have won a championship last year. Max throws a good one out there. Maybe Kurt Schilling. Maybe we have to do this, right? Maybe after this week, we'll do a disgruntled Philadelphia fan site, which, look, I mean, that's pretty much all of my shows at this point. It's just disgruntled Philly fans. It's funny because Sterling, again, one of my students, can't call me Chip because he knows me as Mr. Keggy. So he trimmed it down to Keggy. Not even 100%, 1,000%. The fact that Jimmy Butler carried the Miami Heat into the NBA Finals by his damn self shows you that had Jimmy Butler still been on this team instead of Ben Simmons, they would have won an NBA championship this year. Hell, they may have won one last year too. It's not like the East was that dominant. It ties into the front office. It ties into the coaching staff. Once again, and there's so many parallels between the Phillies and the Sixers. Both teams have coaches that needed to go, right? Gabe Kapler was not going to find success here in Philadelphia. He's finding a lot of success out in San Francisco. Different town. But John Middleton, Clentek, Brett Brown, Doc Rivers, Elton Brand, Daryl Morey. These are all guys who have not done enough. Comment of the night, Max. Pitching is to the Phillies what perimeter shooting is to the Sixers. Something that the front offices won't address is to what the linebacking core is to the Eagles. Positions of massive importance that just won't be addressed. And on that note, let's start talking some football. Well, actually, we got to talk Flyers. Here's the thing. I was going to bring Don Conaway on. He's got some things happening in the house, so he cannot join. He was going to be my Flyers preview guy. So here's what I know. Tomorrow night, the Flyers play. I am excited to watch. I do not really know what's happening. I know the coach says that they got better, but there's a lot they need to work on. Look, the Flyers last year were just a mediocre team. The struggles the Flyers had, here we go, was defense. And the fact that Hart was facing shots all season with no defense in front of them, and they couldn't get the puck out of their own side of the ice. Well, they addressed it. They signed some real nasty MFers to play defense. And I love it. And right, but they addressed it. They realized what was wrong. They addressed it. So now, yes, they have to score. Yes, Hart has to take that next step up. Yes, the defense has to buy in. The offensive strategy, not the chuck and dump, has to get better. There are so many things that have to improve. They have to get more shots on goal. But I think improving the weakest spot makes this team better. And the fans are excited. I am excited for hockey. I'm excited to start from Jump Street and watch a whole season and try to make sense of it. I am excited for, again, my guest tonight was supposed to be Don Conaway. He is starting a Flyers podcast show. I believe they're going to go bi-weekly called Drunk on Ice, which, by the way, don't do that. That sounds dangerous. Also sounds like a lot of fun. With Jason Voorhees from Sports and Metal. So make sure you're going to be checking that out as well. That is a show that I will watch because I will learn a ton of information. If it fails, Max, you're killing the comments tonight. If it fails, fine. At least there was a very clear strategy of this didn't work. Let's address it and try to fix it. Much like the Eagles did with their wide receiving core. They struggled with wide receivers. We went out and got Devontae Smith. Let's see if it works. The coaching wasn't working. The play calling was bad. They replaced it. Let's see if it works. They're making legitimate attempts. Don't know much about hockey, Javier says, but it sounds like the Flyers front office got their things together, unlike the others. Yes, that's the point. The Phillies produced the same exact product. And what happens with 6 games left in the season? Here we are stressing out about a 3-game series with the Braves and a 3-game series against the Marlins. with 4 starting pitchers. Are you telling me that game 1 against the Marlins, they're going to throw out a bullpen game? Or sorry, game 2 against the Marlins, when they have got to go at least 5-1 to make the playoffs. In the next 6 games, the Phillies have to go 5-1. They didn't address pitching. Instead, they gave us Matt Moore, Chase Anderson, Vinny Velasquez, who I have no idea how the Padres picked him up and went, this is a good idea. Unless it's just a September arm. That's reasonable. But Chase Anderson, Matt Moore, that ain't it. Hans Cruz, whatever the guy's name is who started last. Look, he's a bullpen pitcher. He pitched okay. He's not it. Ranger Suarez has been doing okay. But they're going to use and abuse him. Going into next season, in reality, if you return Wheeler, Nola, and I'm going to be honest, that's the one I'm concerned about because of the whole weak-minded Philadelphia athlete thing. And we said this earlier in the show. But if you return Wheeler, Nola, Eflin, Ranger Suarez, and Kyle Gibson, that's a formidable 5. That is a formidable 5. Then you can focus on the bullpen. Then you can focus on the minor league system. Then you can focus on having anybody besides Odubel Herrera playing center field. I want him gone. That experiment needs to be over. But again, it all comes down to what the front office views as important. The Sixers don't value perimeter shooting. It's what would work with Joel Embiid. The Phillies don't put a value on starting pitching. It's what the Phillies need as we're going with bullpen games in a playoff race. The Flyers realized that they were weakest with their defense. They addressed it. The Eagles realized they were weak at linebacker and wide receiver. They brought in some guys to play, but that's not saying much. So the official inactives list for the game tonight is out. So let's go into our official Eagles predictions now. We were, by the way, as we do every home game, supposed to be live from the West End tonight. Now, in Quakertown, they had a private event, so they were not able to host us. We are going to be there on Sunday. We are going to be there on Sunday for their game against the Chiefs. But we kind of swapped it out a little bit. And yes, Jason Voorhees, Hans Cruz starting a must-win game in a pennant race. And look, he gave him 3 innings. That was awesome. And he pitched well. And Ranger Suarez going a full 9 meant you had the entire repertoire of the bullpen at your disposal. But again, how is Hans Cruz, I just keep saying the guy's name, even though he's not even remotely German. How is Hans Cruz the guy that you send out in a must-win game? I don't understand that. I don't condone that. But alas, here we are. And let's get into it at this point. Eagles predictions, news, notes, it is almost game time. Jason wanted to get his prediction in. I know he's at work. He says Eagles 27-17 in an upset. I hope you're right. Here's our news and notes. Our inactives list, no real surprises here. Gardner Minshew is still not ready to start or even dress, and that's fine. Rodney McLeod, still not healthy. That's a problem. Davion Taylor, he's supposed to be playing more. He's not. Jordan Mailata not playing. That's a big problem. That is a huge problem, and we'll talk about that more in a second. And Jack Anderson, who they just signed, isn't playing. Brandon Brooks on the injured list. Brandon Graham on the injured list. So they had to go out and get a lineman. They elevated Sue Opeta from the practice squad. So he will be your backup offensive lineman. But what that means is that you are going to have, at right guard, Landon Dickerson, who really had a bad game. He had a very bad game. Now, he was thrust into a playing role against a very good team. So again, I'm hoping that, Stoutland coached him up a little bit. The one that worries me, I know Max, I know it was his first game, but he looked really, really bad. If you go back and you look at the deep throw to Quez Watkins, if you go back and look at the deep throw to Quez Watkins, the 91-yard pass, and you look and see how far back Landon Dickerson got pushed, you see that he still has a ton of work to do. I'm hoping Stoutland really got into him today and this week. The one that worries me is the one who Stoutland has the chance to deal with for the last couple seasons. Andre Dillard is starting. Here we go. Andre Dillard is starting at left tackle tonight. Oh, dear God. We are lucky, as Max said, that the Cowboys are missing some very, very, very key guys on defense. We are lucky that these guys are not playing. Because if they were, we would have a severe struggle. Now, let's look at Dallas's inactives. And I always hate going onto the Twitter and having to Google anything Dallas Cowboys related. But I did, because I'm trying to find the inactives. Here they are. I'm going to put them up for you for the people to see. Now, I don't know a lot of these guys because they suck, because they're Cowboys. But here you go. The inactives for the Cowboys tonight. Donovan Wilson, he's a safety. All right. Will Greer, he's their emergency third-string quarterback. Ty Neshke, he's a tackle. Carlos Watkins, DN. Dorrance Armstrong, a defensive end. Sorry, Carlos Watkins, DN. But DeMarcus Lawrence, not playing. La'el Collins, okay. I got to go back full screen on this. In case you haven't heard this, La'el Collins is a tackle for the Dallas Cowboys. He is a huge supporter of the marijuana. Went to the NFL training combine. Huge fan of it. Told everybody. Was like, oh, I hope they don't drug test. And let's be honest, the NFL really has not drug tested for marijuana a ton over these last couple seasons. By the way, Josh Gordon reinstated again, signed to the Kansas City Chiefs. If anybody can help him get his life back in order, it's Andy Reid, who hopefully gets better. We'll talk about that in a couple minutes. La'el Collins gets drug tested and bribes the guy testing him. Let me say that again. In the most Dallas Cowboy way possible, bribes the guy testing him. They give him a 5-game suspension. They're willing to drop it to 2. They go to court. They go to arbitration. And he argues more. He argues more. You can't be. That's not why they were drug testing him. They were drug testing him for all the other performance-enhancing stuff. The random drug testing. But he thought he was going to be suspended for weed. So he tries to bribe the drug tester. They go 5-game suspension. Then they agree to a 2-game suspension. And they go to court. They go to arbitration. And he argues. And they go, you know what? Screw you. 5 games it is. As my wife said, that is the most Jerry Jones thing imaginable. And as my wife said, what? It's the crying emoji.
That wasn't me. That's Max.
Oh, that's Max. My fault. Sorry, I have the wife in the peripheral over here. My fault, Max. You said, It doesn't get more Dallas than that. This is a team that have guns and cocaine and tackles at the 1-yard line. I hate the Dallas Cowboys. I hate the Dallas Cowboys. I hate the Dallas Cowboys. It is almost game time. And at this point, I'm bringing in the prettier half of the show. Because we got to talk about our final predictions. We got to talk about the rest of Chips and Dish. We got to talk about the weekly pickoff. I'm trying to find, there it is. Here we go, the weekly pickoff with Mrs. Chip for the Birds, Tila Kegi. Here she is. What's up? You want the chair? You get the chair, of course. Here you go. Let me.
I have a couple things to say.
Oh, okay. Well, then tell you what. You do this. You sit. Walk around. All right. You walk around.
What are you doing?
I'm trying to walk around.
He's very, very
I'm hyped today, y'all.
not with it.
He's
so hyped, but he picked Dallas to win. So don't listen to anything that he has to say.
I'm gonna need
He's wrong.
Oh boy. I'm gonna need the mouse.
So basically, I have a couple things that I want to say of the topics that you were speaking of before.
Okay, go ahead.
Number one, when it comes to the Phillies,
Mhm.
they needed to win against a shitty team in order to build their own confidence back. That's okay. You don't get to judge when a team gets hot. It is what it is. I know you don't like it, but that's the way it is.
I know you don't like it.
Secondly, there is a huge difference between Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid.
Yeah, well, that I agree with.
Well, we know that, but also one worked hard and the other one did not. The other one was always told, "Oh my God, you're so great. Oh, you're so great." So then you put him out in the real world and he's actually got to work for it and he can't hack it here. And this was the worst place for him because
we'll eat you alive.
Right.
We will eat you alive.
We as a fan base in Philadelphia altogether expect you to work hard. That's what it comes down to. And if you're doing a shitty job, we're going to tell you. And you can either take that and improve or get the fuck out. So I'm really glad that he's gone. I don't have anything to say about hockey yet, but I'm here about the Eagles today.
Yes.
Because I picked them to win.
Now, so this matters, right?
Yes. Well, I mean, it matters to you. It doesn't matter to me. Because if he wins, we tie. And
Right.
if
So
I win,
we are going
I
into
win.
the final. And I'm just now
what
hearing.
is with your light and stuff?
I know. So I'm just now hearing that some of the Twitter comments are not showing up. I think that's an issue. I think that Twitter and StreamYard aren't quite working. We'll fix that. I apologize if you have been blowing up the Twitter comments. I always like to see the comments happening. I am sorry, as Jeff just commented into my DMs. He's
Okay,
into the
you're
DMs.
talking too much.
All right.
Let's go.
Anyway, we going into this game tonight. I am 9-6 this week. She is 10-5. Good on you.
Thanks.
Good on you. What that means is that if I am correct with my Cowboys prediction, we'll tie. And I'll be very sad.
Again.
If I am wrong and the Eagles win, I will lose and I will be very happy.
See? It works out.
It all works out. Adam's commenting, let's see. Yes, the Phillies looked terrible yesterday. I saw it live. It was embarrassing on Fan Appreciation Day. You did not feel very appreciated, I know. And,
when in Philadelphia do we ever really feel appreciated?
And
as
yes,
fans?
Don't worry, Peanut. I will make sure to shout you out. Adam's official prediction, 35-34 Birds.
That's a really high scoring
It is.
game.
Well, defense
for
is
this.
definitely a question mark. Now,
True.
I forget what I picked on Wednesday night. I'd have to go back and ask Johnny. Maybe Johnny can comment that in. But here's my question. What is your score prediction for tonight?
Oh, I think it's not going to be as high scoring as that. I think it'll be 21-14-ish.
That's super low.
Yeah, I know.
All right. Let me ask you this. You think that we are going to hold the Dallas Cowboys
I'm not sure what's going on with my hair today.
exceptionally powerful? I'm like out of the frame. I got to shimmy you down. You think we're going to hold the very powerful Dallas Cowboys offense to 14 points with Dak Prescott, Amari Cooper, Ezekiel Elliott, Tony Pollard.
I don't know who
CeeDee
those
Lamb.
people are. I know who Dak Prescott is.
I would like you to be right. I know that I picked it to be an exceptionally high scoring game. And I do think that it's going to, I just think personally right now that Dallas
I don't know what the score is going to be. I just don't think that Dallas is going to win.
All right. Well, fine.
I don't like Dallas.
I don't like,
I
who
like
does?
Dak
Who likes
Prescott.
Dallas? I would not have married you if you liked Dallas.
People from Dallas and the random weirdo from Pennsylvania.
Let's get into this. Because going into this week, let's look at this top part first. Going into this game tonight, I am 29-18 on the season. You are 28-19 on the season. It doesn't get closer than that. So it is time for the weekly pickoff. We are the same on some games. Yep, Adam, I agree. Dallas sucks, Dallas sucks, Dallas sucks, Dallas sucks.
This is why I can never play fantasy football.
Nah.
Because I would have a hard time putting people that I hate in.
Yeah, for sure.
To score me points.
So, starting right off the top, right? And I'll actually zoom in a skosh so we can actually see this a little bit. We'll go one more skoshy in. Okay, people can see that. And I can, at that point, put us back on screen.
Oh, good.
Cool. Hi, us. All right. Jaguars and the Bengals. We'll start right at the top. I think we agree on this. I got the Bengals.
I do too.
I said the Jaguars are struggling due to coaching. Look, Urban Meyer ain't it, guys. He is not calling a good game plan at all.
Urban Meyer is a coach?
Urban Meyer.
That's a coach.
That's a coach.
That sounds like a college.
He was a college coach.
No, that sounds like a college.
Like
Where did you go? Urban Meyer.
Urban Meyer University?
Yeah.
All right. Now, so I guarantee you that will make an appearance in one of my wife's predictions coming up.
It doesn't.
Okie dokie. Jaguars are struggling due to coaching. He's really not doing well at the NFL level. The Bengals have a franchise caliber quarterback. This is close, but again, another terrible Thursday night game. This game is going to suck. Over on the misses side.
They're so cute. Have you seen Bengals? They are so much cuter than Jags, even though Jags are also cute, but Bengals are more likely to kill Jaguars. And that's why I went that way. I went straight like Animal Planet because they're two cats.
Adam agrees with us collectively, he says.
Good. Good for him.
All right. We move on. Now I think we have a couple more that are the same, but then we get real different.
Apparently.
Titans and Jets. I got the Titans. The Jets, they're so bad. The Jets are so bad. The Titans are Super Bowl contenders. This is going to get ugly quick.
So I don't know if the Titans are Super Bowl contenders or not. I just know that the Jets suck. And they're a huge joke. And I said it last week, and I'll say it this week because I watched that game yesterday. And it's like you need that background music of like, dun, 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 dun. That's what it
The Benny Hill theme?
Yeah, but like in real time.
Yeah. And Adam, I agree. The Titans in an absolute stomp down.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't see. Look, Zach Wilson is not ready to start at the NFL level. Let's call it like it is.
Absolutely, totally.
And he's from BYU. Again, he's not the reincarnation of Steve Young. He might be good down the line, but so far, none of these rookie quarterbacks have shown to be worth a damn. Not a one.
Well, they have to learn.
But that's the issue. And I did a whole thing about this a couple months ago, where I said we got to stop anointing these players as the second coming.
Well, I agree with that.
And we did that with Carson Wentz. We anointed him. We anointed Ben Simmons.
College isn't the NFL. They're not the same thing. And you're going to learn real quick.
Javier, that's what we're saying. None of these rookie quarterbacks are ready. But this rookie class was touted as one of the greatest classes of all time. Look, nobody from North Dakota State has ever been a good NFL quarterback. Carson Wentz sucks. But Trey Lance was given the keys to the kingdom. There have not been good Ohio State quarterbacks, yet Justin Fields is the second coming of whoever.
I think that people, when they've been down for so long, need something to look up to and something to look forward to. So they have to have a belief in their system, just like we did.
Yeah, I agree with that.
We've had, who was that quarterback that we had in between people? The people thought was going to be so great. Oh, I don't know, but Michael Vick was in there, and that guy's an asshole. But
Kevin Kolb?
There you go.
Oh, no one thought Kevin Kolb was good.
No, but
nobody thought he was good.
Okay, but you know what I mean.
Like, hate that guy.
Yeah.
We got rid of Donovan McNabb for Kevin Kolb.
Right. Well, I mean, Kevin Kolb wasn't throwing up at a Super Bowl from partying too hard.
Yeah, but instead Kevin Kolb couldn't see because he got too many concussions.
Also true. So moving on.
Because we are up against it a little bit.
Yes.
Because there is football in just a little while. Lions and the Bears. I have the Lions in an upset. The Bears don't know who's playing quarterback this week. It could be Dalton. It could be Fields. It could be Nick Foles. The Lions have hung against some pretty good teams. I like Detroit in an upset. You also have
the Lions.
Okay.
Because the Wizard of Oz with their like lions and tigers and bears, oh my. And the Cowardly Lion, he's so sweet and he's so cute. And then he gets brave and pick the Lions. Is that wrong? I don't know, guys. I don't know.
Adam's taking the Bears.
Okay.
Javier is appreciating you.
What?
So, Javier, I don't know if you caught one of these segments yet, the weekly pickoff that we do, but I look into like the analytics and the records and the rosters and all that stuff.
I don't.
She does not.
I don't.
And you can see, again, judging by our records, she's 28-19. I'm 29-18.
Yeah.
So what we've learned is there's absolutely no rhyme or reason going into these things.
Nope.
And it's fantastic.
Yes.
All right. As Adam said ever so eloquently, Wentz is worse on the Colts than he is on the Eagles. He's sure the F is.
Yeah.
And you even have the owner of the Colts saying, he's been injured in the past. We can't trust him. He didn't get vaccinated. We can't trust him. We need to be able to trust him to be on the field.
Yeah.
And I'm over there going, oh, we're going to have problems. He's going to ask me traded in the next 3 weeks because they don't like me in Indianapolis
but if he
either.
gets traded, then do we?
His
what about our
career's over.
pick? No, what about our picks?
First
What
off,
does that
they're
have
not
to do
going to
with?
trade him. They're not going to trade him because one of the reasons why Indianapolis took him was because of Frank Reich and rejuvenating his career. If he cannot make it in Indianapolis, his career is done. He'll be a backup somewhere, but since he doesn't want to be a backup anywhere, he'll be done.
I had hopes for him to be like the next Peyton Manning. Honest to God, I really did when he first started. When he very first started, I was like, that kid. And then he went to the Colts, and I was like, oh.
Nah.
And no, I don't see it now. This was just like when he first, and I was like, this kid's going to be great. And I really and then he got injured. It's like
Javier, I don't know. I do want him to play well so that he plays the percentage we need for that pick. I get it.
Well, hold
he's
on
gonna
a second.
get hurt. He's gonna get hurt.
Hold on. Can you just go to it?
Sure, here we go. I can't trust Carson. This is my side.
Yes.
Colts and Dolphins, I took the Dolphins. I can't trust Carson Wentz. Jacoby Brissett is at least playing pretty well consistently. He's a better quarterback option than Tua. I think the Dolphins win. The wife picked the Dolphins as well because of the same reason.
Because I just can't pick him. And I just hope that he plays enough snaps and still loses just like he did this past week. And also, Brissett reminds me of brisket, and that's delicious. So it's kind of a no-brainer in this situation.
Okay. Sure. Our first difference of opinion, please weigh in. The Browns and the Vikings. I have the Browns. The Browns are a really great football team, and they're getting healthier. Getting Odell Beckham back helps them. Myles Garrett absolutely obliterated Jason Peters last week. I laughed very hard.
Oh, Jason Peters.
He needed to retire 4 seasons ago.
I know. Keep going. Maybe he needs some money. Go ahead.
The Vikings can score a lot, but can they stop the scoring? My question comes into the Vikings defense. You are taking the Vikings.
Yes, I am. I don't know if anybody has TikTok, but if you do, there is this guy on TikTok who sings like a friggin' god, and he looks like the Vikings mascot. And
Javier really appreciates this segment.
I don't know. So Javier must know who I'm talking about, though, because the guy is so good, and he sings like
I know who you're talking about.
Queen and all kinds of, and he looks like that, and so I picked them. Adam,
I think that this game is a toss-up. I really do.
Me too.
I do.
Absolutely, totally.
I think that this game is a toss-up. I just don't. I'll lean more towards the Browns because saying anything about Kirk Cousins, it's always hit or miss. All right. Washington and the Falcons. I did not think Javier's enjoying this segment. Thanks, Javier. Appreciate it. Make sure you subscribe. We do this every Monday night.
We do.
I'm picking the Falcons, which it surprised me when I typed it because they played really well against the Giants. Washington football played terrible against the Bills. And we knew it was going to happen, but it was really bad.
Mm-hmm.
I am not confident on this one. I actually think I'm going to be wrong on this. And I do think the Falcons are going to win this game.
Right, which means that I think I'm going to be right because I also picked the Falcons.
Oh, so you are confident.
But not for the same reason.
What's your reason?
Well, I wanting to see Washington succeed is like sticking around for a guy who says he's going to change but never does. And I'm really upset about this because I actually want to see Washington do well. And they hurt my feelings repeatedly. So I can't trust them anymore and I can't go back. And I hope that Rio knows this.
Yeah. Well, I can't wait to get Rio on the show. And yeah, Javier, this is what was it made us giggle. Just the fact that we're picking teams for totally different reasons and the record is indeed that close. That is impressive. We agree. All right. Another one we share the same thoughts on. Bills and the Texans. I said the Bills are now clicking. They just absolutely stomped on Washington. Texans are struggling in every part of the game.
And I said, once again, Texas ain't it. The Bills did really well last year, from what I remember.
Yeah.
And I think that they are a surprisingly good team. So I have a real reason for that that went into that. But I think it's going to be the Bills for sure.
Adam's channeling his inner Destiny's
Child.
Can you pay my bills?
That's wrong note.
Telephone bills. Automobiles.
You're not the guy from the Vikings.
All right. Next up, Saints and Giants.
Yes.
I have the Saints. The Saints are dominating against teams. I think the Giants are going to be lucky to find the football field. They are awful. The Giants are awful. And we knew they were going to be, but they are so bad. It's that train wreck that you don't want to turn away from. And I won't.
You don't want to turn away from it. You can't turn away from it.
Yeah, I don't.
He can, Adam.
I can say I just like to scroll around.
He can. He is a phenomenal front man. I also picked the Saints because the Giants might be a bigger joke than the Jets. It's really close.
There is a amazing stat about since a photo was taken a couple years ago, like nobody ever wins in New York anymore. The boat photo.
I am not familiar with said situation.
So the Giants players took a photo on a boat trying to look all gangster. Mm-hmm. And since that photo, they've won like 6 games.
Well, maybe the stadium's cursed because they share it. So.
Yes, the New York Stadium in New Jersey.
Yes, I'm aware.
Because everything sucks. And you know what, Adam? I tend to agree with you. Joe Judge is not an NFL coach.
Is that the Giants
That coach? Is the Giants coach. It's a great name. Joe Judge is a great name.
He's a bad judge of character.
Oh, my God.
Sorry.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Chiefs and Eagles, there is a difference of opinion here. I did it again, y'all. I picked against the Eagles. Again, I look at it logically. Even with the new Andy Reid storyline, and again, we hope that he is okay. I do not want him to miss out on his return to the link. We really do like him here.
Yes, very much.
It was time for him to go when he was let go.
Also true.
The Eagles are not in the same class as the Chiefs.
You don't know what the Eagles are yet.
The Eagles are not. The Chiefs are Super Bowl contenders every year. The Eagles are not there yet.
Okay.
The Eagles have a questionable coaching staff, a questionable quarterback, players on the injury front, players who don't even know how to find the field, J.J. Arcega-Whiteside, a defense that's a whole bunch of one-year contracts. We don't know what this team is yet, but we know they're not the Chiefs.
Listen.
You disagree?
I disagree with you. I respect where am I? I wish Andy nothing but love, and I can't wait for him to return. I love him so much. But go Birds. I'm sorry.
And that's the other thing. What Adam's saying here, Chiefs are struggling.
Okay.
So when you're struggling against good teams in the AFC, you're going to be going up against a bad team.
I just want to make this clear, guys, that I have no idea what the Chiefs' record is right now.
I don't show her these things.
I don't know anything. I just know that I have a really good feeling about the Eagles, and they haven't played since their loss.
True.
And they've had some time to course correct, and I'm here for that.
All right. We're going to keep it going because we are up against it.
I know. I'm so excited.
Panthers, Cowboys. I got the Cowboys. Cowboys are a very solid football team, and the Panthers will play them close. However, not having Christian McCaffrey will hurt Carolina. He is their number one offensive weapon. Him not playing will hurt him and my fantasy numbers. You also have the Cowboys?
I do, because I respect the hell out of Dak and only Dak Prescott. And there's been a lot of cats on this one this time between the Bengals and the Panthers and the Jags. And it's too much. So I had to break it up and stop picking cats.
All you cool
I don't even, and the Lions or something.
All you cool cats and kittens.
Yeah. So I had to break it up and not go with cats right now.
Okay.
So keep going.
We're going. We are going over to Seahawks and 49ers.
Look at how many we have in common.
I see it.
I
Can
am
I tell
shocked.
you, I was starting to type in my answer having the 49ers picked, and then I actively changed it. I said I had this the other way. However, knowing how many injuries the 49ers have in their secondary, and only their secondary, I cannot say that they'll be able to stop Russell Wilson, DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett, all of the weapons that the Seahawks have.
I need you guys to know that he likes to throw out his knowledge during this whole thing.
I love it.
And I don't know anything he's talking about.
It's okay. Why you pick it?
Because the Seahawks have better costumes. And you guys know how I feel about the costumes. And you know I don't like the 49ers costumes. And I picked them to win this past week. And what happens? They got really cocky with like 35 seconds left. And they failed. So you know what? Ollie, we're going to figure it out.
So,
like Ted Lasso soccer?
Ollie, we do on this network a soccer show on Thursday nights.
Yep.
I watch it so I can learn about soccer because up until the season, I knew nil.
It's awesome.
That's a soccer term, by the way. Nil. That means
so
zero.
It's pitch.
Yes.
I got it. They do have great costumes, Ollie. See?
There's going to be a podcast one of these nights where I just invite Ollie on and you guys just talk about British things.
Yes. Well, here's the thing.
Go
My
ahead.
brother-in-law is also from England. And I'm here for it.
Yeah.
100%. There you go.
All right. I'm actually looking at the rest of these picks real quick. And
Yep.
I really do think
We're the same.
we are the same except for the Eagles-Chiefs game.
I'm shocked.
Oh, and the Browns.
Yeah. So we don't normally.
We fill these out in different rooms.
Yeah. And I don't ever look at his because I don't want to be swayed by his knowledge.
So we differ on 2 games next week.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm pretty surprised by that.
So we're going to finish the segment up in the next 7 minutes.
Yes.
Here we go.
Here we go. Ravens.
The rest of the way, the Rams, the Packers, the Ravens, the Bucks, and the Raiders.
Yep.
Is how we picked. So Rams, it's going to be a high-scoring game. Matt Stafford's going to win the MVP award. It's going to be a close victory. You said
This is going to be a phenomenal game. And I'm happy for either team, but one has the hotter coach. So,
have you seen Cliff Kingsbury?
I have not.
He's easy in the eyes.
Okay. Well, right now I've only seen McVay, so here we go.
All right. Steelers, Packers. I got the Packers. They're trending up after some bad games. And Big Ben can't stand up without falling. Y'all, did you see him fall?
I don't know. I didn't see
it
him
made me
fall,
laugh.
but he looks sweaty and drunk all the time.
Yeah, he does.
I picked the Packers because I'm back on the cheese train.
Cheese.
I'm really proud that they've turned it around. And again, 35 seconds left. You can't leave that time for him.
You
for Aaron
were
Rodgers.
asleep.
Whoa. I watched it later on.
I know. It was really impressive.
Thank you very
The
much.
joy of TV that you can rewind. Ravens, Broncos. Ravens won in a narrow game with a record-setting kick. 66 yards, yo.
I have to talk about this
Go
very
ahead.
quickly. No, I don't want to talk about the Ravens.
Oh, okay.
We know why I picked the Ravens.
Okay.
Because it's spooky
It's
season.
spooky season.
We know this. And
All
the
right.
Broncos, they don't match. That's
Is this
not-
the game you want to talk about, the Bucks and the
I
Patriots?
want to talk about this.
Okay, we're going to spend some time on it. So let's do Raiders, Chargers, and then wrap up with the Bucks, Patriots.
Yeah, it's real quick.
All right,
It's
Raiders,
real quick.
Chargers. It's going to be close. I think the Raiders are the better team. John Gruden sucks as a coach. So there's that. You have the Raiders. Because
Yes, even though I hate their costumes, but Justin Herbert, I believe is his name on the Chargers.
that is. Look at you
quarterback.
dropping a name.
And he reminds me of a character from Friday Night Lights. And he also came from Oregon. And I'm not over what Chip Kelly did to us. So I'm not here for that.
Okay. Now, we both have the Bucks. I said
Yes.
game of the year. Brady versus Belichick. Bucks are the better team. You have the Buccaneers because
Hello.
hello.
And here's the deal.
Here's the deal.
I feel like Joe Biden.
Go ahead,
now.
do your
Here's
thing.
the deal. Here's the situation, guys. I watched Sunday Night Football,
Mhm.
and they have an ad going against next Sunday night for this game.
Mhm.
And I don't know who does the ads or the promoting for for Sunday Night Football. But this was the greatest thing I've ever seen, with Adele in the background and him coming back for the first time in 2 years. And this is going to be like such a soap opera, and but real reality. And I'm here for it. And I hope that the Patriots fans give Tom Brady the respect that he absolutely deserves for everything that they did. But you know how I feel about Bill Belichick. And that dude, as I said last week, needs Jesus. And or whatever, somebody. He needs anybody.
An entity, a deity.
Yes, he does.
Needs a deity in his life.
Somebody. He needs Buddha. I'm not sure. He's starting to look like Buddha, so there you go. But it's going to be the Bucs, because I really want to root for Tom Brady here.
Yeah. Tampa Tom is fine.
That's right. Look, can I press that?
Yes. So listen. It is 4 minutes before kickoff. We're going to do the very quick wrap-up so we know what's going on.
Your balls will thank you.
Your balls will thank you, yes. Tonight has been Chips and Dish, an early edition to get ready for Eagles pregame. I am not sure if we're doing a postgame. I will not be on it because I got to teach tomorrow and coach tomorrow.
It'll just be me reviewing.
Listen, that's fine. Viewership that late at night, way up. So tomorrow night, Burning Bridges with Jeremy Bridges, our former NFL players show. He gets on, he talks shit. It's great. It's amazing.
I love him.
That's 10:30. Wednesday is our Eagles weekly report. We are bringing on a Chiefs writer for the game so he can break down all things Kansas City. Thursday is Across the Pitch, our Union show.
Ollie.
Friday is Birds, Beers, and BS, our YouTube exclusive with Jeff and Peanut. All kinds of college writing and articles that happened during the week.
It's really cool.
Sunday, we are live from the West End an hour before kickoff to discuss all things Kansas City versus Philadelphia and Big Red's return home.
Yeah.
So there is all that. I'm not going to go through the list of sponsors again. I want to thank you for watching. Make sure that you are liking, subscribing, sharing,
get shirts,
commenting, get shirts at the
Take
AA.
a picture if you get the Custom Mentality one and tag me in it, because I'd really love to see that. And while you're at it, get Matt Templin's helmets for Templids, because those are badass too.
True story. So we bid you adieu. We wish you a great
Go
night.
Birds!
Go Birds. We're out of beer, so we're out of here. I'm not even playing the commercial with About Your Testicles because we're about to go kicking some cowboy tail. Good night. Rock on. We'll see you. Ollie, rock and roll. Adam, rock and roll. Thank you to everybody for commenting. And I'm wrapping this up. Peace out.